Hello, welcome to a special edition of Three's a Crowd. Preston Vargas here with a special guest, Cain Nuttall. Cain, how you doing today?
I'm good. Thank you for having me.
Yes, you're welcome. So yeah, we'll get into a top 10 quarterback rankings entering 2026. Cain and I have had this debate for some time, but he's finally here on the air to put his feet to the fire. So let's get into it. So before we do, let's make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more episodes like this. We're here every day, also streaming games live. So yeah, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe. So let's get into this here for the top 10 list. Cain, we'll start with you. Who is your number 10 quarterback?
My number 10 slot, I gotta have Sam Darnold.
Okay. As for those of you who don't know, he is a Seahawks fan. So yes. What are your main reasons for having Sam Darnold?
Well, there's won the Super Bowl, obviously, so going into next season, he's come off a Super Bowl win. He didn't play bad. Playoffs, he had 5 touchdowns, 0 turnovers. He's the only QB in the playoffs to have 0 turnovers. His whole problem, everybody thought that we're going to do bad, was because of turnovers, and he turned it around. So going to next season, that's off a fresh start, Super Bowl win. He has a solid offense still in front of him with JSN still there. They got a nice rookie running back. Solid O-line. Defense still looks good. He doesn't have to worry about if he does bad because the defense is going to hold him. So I got him at 10 still.
Yeah, that's pretty solid to have him at number 10 there. He is definitely on the list, that's for sure. My number 10, I have Bo Nix in here. Now, this is projections for 2026. Bo Nix had a solid season last year. The question is, how is he going to come off of his ankle injury? That's going to be the main key for him. I mean, Bo Nix, we'll see how he does. I do expect a lot from him in his third year in the NFL, 30 under Sean Payton. So yeah, Bo Nix definitely number 10 there.
He just didn't make my list. I mean, yeah, he did play good, really good QB last year, but their schedule was very easy. Who did they play? They didn't really do good. And then when he finally made the playoffs, he did have a good game, and they got injured the second game. I mean, got injured in that game, but they didn't really play enough competition for me to put him in my top 10.
And what he did in the playoffs against Buffalo, he still played that entire game. And credit to Josh Allen, he made some dumb mistakes in that one, but you still got through to the next round. Even though you didn't play against the Patriots, I think if he would have played, the Broncos would have been in the Super Bowl against Seattle.
I think either way, Seattle's defense was stopping them.
I agree with you there.
But he did play a good game against the Bills. But I think Josh Allen handed him that game. He had 4 turnovers. I think the game goes to Josh Allen if he plays less recklessly.
Yeah, the inexplicable play at the end of the half. That's for sure.
Yeah,
And then number 9, Cain, who you got there?
At my 9, we got Drake May.
Drake May.
So, Super Bowl running up, MVP runner up, but same thing as Bo Nix. Why he's so low is the schedule they played. He didn't play good teams. They had one of the worst schedules in the league, the third worst since 2000. It was not good teams, good QB, but I've seen him in person. I've been there for multiple of his games. I watched him the year before. The year before, basically, different coaching and all that. You can say that. But it's the same as Sam Darnold. He can lean on his defense when he needs to. They have a top 3 defense in the league, in my opinion. And the offense, I don't know. I mean, he played good when he was supposed to, but then also when he was put in a blender against top teams. You saw what he did against Seattle. He did nothing in the Super Bowl. Literally nothing in the Super Bowl until garbage time. And in the whole entire playoff run, he had more turnovers and touchdowns in that playoff run. When he was put to the test, they did win games because his defense held teams to less than 20 points. The first time they didn't, he lost. Not having to be in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I agreed. He, not just the Super Bowl, he did basically nothing in terms of the playoffs as a whole. I mean, not doing much against the Broncos in that AFC title game. Getting past the Texans, that was a big defensive effort there for Drake May, the Patriots.
They argue weather, but in the first half of both those games, there was no snow. There was literally no snow. I was at that Texas game. There was no snow in that first half. He still didn't do anything.
And in the Broncos game as well, there's no snow in the first half. It was a snow globe in the second half. But yeah, that's why he didn't make my list. And they'll be in the honorable mentions category at the end of the show as well. So yeah, my number 9, I'm going to put Jared Goff. In terms of the consistency of the offensive coordinator changes, I think he's weathered the storm through those. Another solid season last year without Ben Johnson. What some could say was a down year for the Detroit Lions offense, but he still put up solid numbers. Even though they have Drew Petzing this year, I don't really think he's going to do much with that team. I know someone that we both know from school, Ashton Starnes, who was the Cardinals offensive coordinator last year. He said he did not like Drew Petzing at all. So I don't think his numbers are going to dip by that much, but I think he'll still be a top 10 quarterback.
He had a very solid season last season, 34-8, pretty good without your offensive coordinator. Like that's a huge loss for you. One of the best offensive coordinators, if not the best offensive coordinator in the game, lost, and
Mm-hmm.
they still. The only reason he didn't make my list was because of playoffs. They didn't make the playoffs,
Yes.
but he did play good. It was just he has the best. He has a top two running back in the league. Amon was a top 5, top 10 receiver, and he played good, but just wasn't good enough to make the playoffs. That's why he's off my list.
Absolutely. And some of the games that he did play, like I think the Texans game where he threw 5 interceptions, even though they came back and won that game, that's back in 2024. That's still pretty solid, showing that you can come back, but you got to take care of the football. That's for sure. If you want to be a top 10 quarterback,
For sure.
and then we go to number 8. Who you got there?
I know this might not be your favorite pick right here, but I got Jaden Daniels.
Jaden Daniels.
You have to. All right, so he was off last season because he didn't play, right? He was injured. But the year before that, let's talk about that. He brought the Commanders a team nobody even talks about besides their name change. He brought them to the NFC Championship. The last time he made the Commanders made the NFC Championship was when both of us weren't even a thought. It was
Mm-hmm.
1992. That was the last time the Commanders made the NFC Championship until Jaden Daniels showed up. He played. He's a great mobile QB. He can do whatever he wants. I think if they weren't injured last season, it's a better thought. But you saw what happened with him off the team. When he's on the team, NFC Championship. When he's off the team, that's a horrible team. They weren't even a talk. Nobody even talked about them. They were one of the worst teams in the league last season.
Okay, so yeah, 2024 that was all good. He made the NFC Championship game, but but he did play. He missed the second half of the season with that season-ending injury. But when he was on the field, this is where I'll push back here. Against Seattle, they were down like 38 to 7 when he got injured. Before that, Dallas, you lose 44 to 22 against a Dallas team that didn't have a good defense. He really should have balled against them. Kansas City on the road didn't really put up much of a fight. Of course, that Kansas City team. Let me check where they were at the time, real quick. So in that game, they were 5-3 before they started going on their slide. So yeah, you could say that, but you didn't really show much fight. Only 7 points against that team. Atlanta on the road, you couldn't win that one. The Chargers
No,
game,
no, no. Let's first talk about this. You say like he played like half the season. He was injured the entire season. He got injured in week 2. He played through injury in Seattle. He shouldn't have been playing. So against the Seattle game, he should not have been playing. That was what week was that? That was week 8.
right later on in the game, he shouldn't have been playing.
He was injured before that. Week 2, he got injured. Week 2, he sprained his left knee.
Yeah.
He sprained his left knee right there. He missed 2 games after spraining his left knee. He should not have came back. He should have stayed out. Then week 7 against the Cowboys, right? You talked about the Cowboys. He
Yeah.
got injured. He injured his right hamstring, so he should not have been out. He came back off an injury to play against Seattle, a top tier defense. What mind do you bring back an injured QB against one of the best defenses in the league, and then put him up for the rest of the season, basically?
But the elbow injury was a separate injury. He shouldn't have been in there because they were losing by however much, and you credit his injury history. I mean, but there's still no guarantee that he would have been good that year. I mean, he was, yeah, you could say he was injured, but the games that he did play, I mean, you see players fight through injuries that they turn out to be good, but he couldn't. That's the thing.
Couldn't because he's injured. He sprained his knee. He's a mobile QB. A QB who sprains their knee, they're not going to be that good. His left knee was sprained, and then his right hamstring. Both his legs are gone. All right, let's look at this, right? Daniel Jones. They started off 8-1. What happened after he sprained his leg? His first one of his legs. They started losing before he even got fully injured. They started losing. We know how good legs are for QBs. He injured his leg week 2. What do you expect him to do after injuring his leg week 2? He was
So
literally he played one good week. Week 1 is the only healthy week he played in the NFL.
I've everybody's injured. That's the thing. And week one against a bad Giants team, that's a team that you should have beaten as well.
And he did.
Yes, he did do that.
His only healthy game he won. He was 1-0 in his only healthy game. In the season before that, he led his team to the NFC Championship. While injured, yes, you're going to say injured. I guarantee you have Joe Burrow on this list. And that dude is injured every single season. So if you have Joe Burrow on this list, you can't say that you can't bring up injuries because that dude never plays a full season. He hasn't played a full season since I don't even know when. I don't even know when the last time Joe Burrow made the playoffs was 2023. And I know he's on your list, and he's always injured. So to have Jaden Daniels off because he was injured for one season,
It's not because of that. It's not because he was injured one season.
Top 5 QB in the league his rookie year. Brought his team to the NFC Championship for the Commanders, a team that's irrelevant. Will always be irrelevant.
I'm talking about when you're on the field. That's the thing. What kind of impact can you make on the field?
Played. Exactly, when he's on the field. When he's on the field. So when you bring up Joe Burrow, we'll talk about that. When he's on the field.
Yeah. When
When
he's
does he
on
ever
the
run the field?
we'll get into Joe Burrow a little later. You're right. He is on my list, but we'll go into number 8 right now. For me, this is where I have Sam Darnold. Like I said, Super Bowl champion. I did take into account the offensive coordinator change there with Clint Kubiak leaving, that we discussed in the pre-show meeting. That yeah, I think Sam Darnold's still a solid QB. JSN's a great weapon. Who knows what they're going to do at the running back position? I think they got that rookie from Notre Dame, Jadarian Price, I believe. Is he going to be the starter?
Yeah, running back Charbonnet still injured off his ACL when he tore in the playoffs. Even not being injured, I think Price is he's shown good. I don't know if you've watched Hard Knocks. He's looking good in the Hard Knocks. He's looking good in training camp. I think he's a good running back, and they might do a double workforce like they did with K9.
Okay. All right.
I see where you're going with Sam Darnold for that, but like I said, that the offensive coordinator just drops him down because Clint Kubiak's a really good offensive coordinator, and now we're bringing in a guy who's never called plays before, a tight end coach, a guy who's never called plays. I think it's going to bring it down a little for him, in my opinion.
And we'll see what the first few weeks of the season. I think that they had the Patriots, and then after that, who do they play after New England?
That week 2, I don't even know, to be honest with you.
Yeah, let me check that. Week 2, that is against the Cardinals. Okay, that's where he can get his feet wet there.
Yeah, exactly.
The Commanders, who lost Laramie Tunsil. I think the Seahawks could easily start out 5-0 to start the season.
If they beat the Patriots, I think they can go on a very good streak. The Patriots are the only team that realistically I'm scared for in those first 5 games.
I mean, the Patriots. I had a hot take of the early part last season that they're going to miss the playoffs this year.
I agree with that. I think it all depends on the chemistry between A.J. Brown and Drake May. That defense still looks great as always. It just, can Drake May do it again against teams who are actually good? That's what it comes down to.
And also, you have the Coach of the Year curse. I don't know if you're aware of this, but every Coach of the Year for the past decade has always had a drop off the next year.
I did not know that. I was unaware.
You had Kevin O'Connell. I think he won in 2024, if I'm not mistaken. Next year, they missed the playoffs, had a downgrade. 23, I forgot who it was there.
They also had 9 at QB. I'd miss the playoffs if I had 9 at QB too.
I mean, yeah, that's true. But yeah, we'll get into that conversation a little bit later. We'll go to number 7 now. Who you got there?
I got Dak.
Dak.
I got Dak. He could be higher. You know, he definitely could. He puts up great stats in and out. Just the playoffs. He never really does in the playoffs. But great stats in and out. That defense sucks. We just mentioned how that defense is horrible. Literally a bottom 3 defense in the entire league. But, like, With that being said, Dak still put up great stats last year. Although, he great QB, just can he get it done? He's not really talked about anymore because of their history in the playoffs. They don't really do anything. It's the Dallas Cowboys. But
Mm-hmm.
as a standpoint, I think he's really good. And if they get that defense going, I think they can make a run in the playoffs.
I think their defense this year is going to be very solid. I think it's going to be much improved. Maybe a borderline top 10 defense. I like what they did with getting Caleb Downs in the draft, Malachi Lawrence as well from the UCF Knights. But yeah, I think the Dak is on my list. He's slightly higher. But yeah, number
Yeah.
7, your favorite quarterback, Justin Herbert. I think the new addition of Mike McDaniel is going to work wonders for him. I think he did well with Tua for his first couple of years. And what he did with San Francisco before that, Jimmy Garoppolo leading Garoppolo to the Super Bowl with them. Yeah, I think he'll do wonders for Justin Herbert. May get that playoff win finally.
Yeah, I have Herbert a little higher on my list because the offensive coordinator, obviously. But I'll get into that when we get to him for my turn.
Okay, so we'll go to number 6. Who you got there?
I got Joe Burrow. I got
Okay.
Joe Burrow. Normally he's higher, yes. Healthy season, Joe Burrow, he is higher. He's top 3 in the league healthy season.
Mm-hmm.
But when is Joe Burrow healthy? When is he healthy?
Yeah,
That's the
that's a good point.
problem. The best ability is availability, and when is he ever available? And that's why he drops so low on my list. It's also because he's Jamar Chase, a receiver. In my opinion, Jamar Chase is the number one receiver in the entire league. He put up 1,400 yards and 8 touchdowns with Joe Flacco, a QB who was cut by the Browns, let go to the Bengals because he wasn't good enough for a team that doesn't even have a QB. He wasn't good enough for a team that doesn't have a QB, and still helped him put up 8 touchdowns.
Yeah,
But that's what I don't know. I think Joe Burrow. I just want him to be healthy. He hasn't made the playoffs since 2023. I think he's glorified off his college days in that one Super Bowl run. But until he plays back-to-back full seasons, I can't put him top 5. I can't do it.
yeah, I agree with you about Joe Flacco. Jamar Chase definitely made him a Pro Bowler technically last season. I think that was the first Pro Bowl in his career.
I think it is too.
But yeah, Pro Bowl is definitely a joke. That's for sure. He is on my list. I'll go more into depth about Joe Burrow here, but are on the when we get to him.
Yeah.
But yeah, number 6. I think this is where Caleb Williams is going to be. I think this is where you have second year under Ben Johnson. I think the offense is going to be good this year. And even though we trade away DJ Moore, you have Luther Burden slotting right in there. I think he's a great candidate for a breakout season. 2 tight end set with Colston Loveland, Colt Kmet, and not to mention Roma Dunze as well. I think if he can work on his accuracy, which is I think will get better in terms of receivers not dropping balls, I think he'll easily get over 4,000 yards this year, maybe by game 15. But yeah, Caleb Williams, number 6 on my list.
Yeah, you know how I feel with Caleb Williams, but here. I just don't think he's top 10. He had okay stats last year. We're talking about the best offensive coordinator in the game. He couldn't even throw 30 touchdowns. I get it, but you can't even throw 30 touchdowns with the best offensive coordinator in the game, like what Jared Goff did. Although he did have a better offense, he still put up better stats. And then when it mattered in the playoffs, what did Caleb do against the Rams? What did he do?
Yeah,
Well what he did against the Rams. Let's tell
yeah,
us about it.
yes, 2 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, and I also looked to the Packers game as well, where he showed up in the big moments, led that 18-point comeback in the fourth quarter.
Okay, you can say that, but the Bears defense held the Rams, the MVP in the league, the best offense in the league, to 0 passing touchdowns, 0 passing touchdowns. All Caleb Williams had to do was not turn the ball over. And against one of the worst defenses, we talk about how the Rams defense isn't that good. Last year it wasn't that good. They had no corners. They beat it up this year, obviously, because they needed to. Their defense wasn't that good. It's what held the Rams from making the Super Bowl. And Caleb Williams threw 3 interceptions against them. That hurts my ranking for him. When it actually mattered, he couldn't do anything when his defense actually helped him out. That puts him down for me.
He did have the one playoff win, that's for sure, and he is clutching the big moments to get wins when you need to.
It was against an injured Packers team. They didn't have half their team. Half their team was gone. Yes, it was a good comeback, great comeback, but when it mattered, he went to overtime. He brought his team to overtime the next game and threw a pick on his first drive. You can't do anything about that.
But yeah, that amazing throw at the end to send it to overtime, where he scrambled all the way back to the 40. Easily one of the. If they would have won that game, that would have been play of the year.
Indeed, but they lost because he threw an interception.
Yeah, he did throw that interception. Also, DJ Moore, it went off his route there.
Yeah, we can play the blame game, but at the end of the day, QB has to take the lead of the offense.
Yeah, I agree with that. That's for sure. Then we go to number 5. What do you have here?
That's where I have Justin Herbert. I have Herbert at 5.
Okay.
Just top 5 because I mean last year he brought his team to the playoffs, right? With the worst offensive line in the entire league. It wasn't even a debate. Was not a debate. You look at every single offensive lineman on that team, they're ranked 32. There was not a debate. They're the worst offensive line in the league. His best receiver had 800 yards. His number one receiver had 800 yards. 800. Are we for real right now? 800 yards was his best receiver, and he still threw for 3,700 yards. His coach, his main coach, we all know Harbaugh is a run-first coach, and he still did that with a run-first coach. Now you're adding McDaniels to it, who's like who made Tua look good until Tua decided not to be good at it anymore. He made Tua look good. Now he's got Justin Herbert. Players across the league will even tell you how good Justin Herbert is. Max Crosby has played a lot. Von Miller has said it's good, and so has Cam Jordan. A lot of players respect him because of the plays he can pull out, the magicianary plays we've seen what he can do when he has somebody behind him. But that's why he's at top 5 for me. His stats are good. He does need a playoff win. That's why he does follow 5 for me. He does need a playoff win, but with a good O line and maybe some good receiver work, I think he can be done this year.
Yeah, it's kind of surprising. I thought you'd have him higher, maybe even number 1. But
The playoffs is holding him back. You're right. The playoffs holding him back. I'm at 5. I'm being realistic. He also did play injured last year. Broke his wrist. Played on an injured wrist and still brought his team to the playoffs.
Okay.
We talk about playing through injuries. That's what he did.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he did play for their injuries. We'll give him credit for that, and still put up good stats. But number 5 for me, this is where I have Joe Burrow. Again, this is all potential for 2026, and this is a big if he stays healthy. If he stays healthy with Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, I think that offense is one of the best in the league. I think they'll go back to the playoffs. I mean, you can easily see Joe Burrow does put up stats when it matters. His defense can't stop a nosebleed. I'm hoping with Dexter Lawrence they can shore up that. And even though I think Shamar Turner, he's out for the season if I'm not mistaken, their second year guy. But yeah, Joe Burrow I think he's definitely a top 5 quarterback, maybe even top 3, like you said. But yeah, he falls at number 5 for me.
To be honest, his defense wasn't really that bad last year. The Bengals' defense wasn't horrible. Like they
No.
did have like some teams like some games were bad, but like some games were also good. Like their defense did help hold people. I mean, how many wins did they have last season with Joe Flacco?
Let me double check that. But they didn't finish last. Browns did. I think they finished 3rd in that division.
Okay, yeah, they had 6 wins last season. Their defense was kind of horrible, but their offense still played good. They had 414 points for with a bad QB. Mm-hmm. If Joe Burrow, like we said, stays healthy, I see him there. But that's why I had to put him at 6 and not 5 because I see him stay healthy for back-to-back seasons. That's all I want from him.
But yeah, that defense last year was historically bad. I mean,
so
where they allowed 48 points to the Vikings, then that shootout against the Bears, 47. I think Chase Brown after that game clamored for them to have just one more stop, and that they end up losing to the Steelers, allowing 34. They held Baltimore to 14, which was surprising. Buffalo 39 points in the snow. Then
Joe Burrow got drafted in 2020. Okay.
Yes.
How many full seasons has he played? I have it up here. I just want to ask you, how many full seasons do you think he's played?
So yeah, the season ended 2020. Played a full one in 21. 22, I think he had a full one. That injuries he missed some time in 24. I think 2 full seasons.
You're close. 3 full seasons of his
Okay.
career. Okay. In those 3 seasons, how many times has he won 9 or more games?
How many times did he won 9 or more games? The Super Bowl
He's played that
season.
since 2020. He's had 3 full seasons. And how many has he played? How many has he won 9 or more games?
Um,
More than 9 games. More than 9 games.
more than 9. So let's
Just above
see.
average. Just above average. How many times?
Two.
Once. Once in his
Once.
entire career, and that was when they went to the Super Bowl and lost to the Rams. He's
Really.
glorified off one season. Glorified off one season. He's never been an All Pro, never been in the MVP conversation. He's only won more than 9 games once. More than 9 games once in his entire career. And people put him top 3, top 5. He can't make top 5 for me because of that. He's
What?
always injured.
Well, no, 2022 they had 12 wins.
Yeah, that was the year they won the Super Bowl.
No, no, 21 was the year when they went to the Super Bowl. They had 10.
That there's no way.
Yeah, 2021 they were 10-7 that year.
Did he play every game? That's the thing. Did he play every game? Did he win those games? That's what it comes down to.
In 2021, yeah, I thought so. Didn't he
I'm
have full
pretty sure.
season? Yeah, let me check that. But I could have sworn he played every game that year.
He's only played 3 full seasons. He played the full season of 2024. That's when he played great. Like he had 43 touchdowns, nine interceptions. He played 2022,
Oh, it took
and
yeah 3 full seasons. 24, he had a full season at 9-8. Yeah, you're right. Only two times he got over 9 wins.
yeah,
So that was in 2021 and 22. And then, but those were 16 games. I think he sat out the last game of the season, which is normal.
yeah.
But yeah, 8 games in 2025, then 10 games in 23. Then also his rookie year, only 10 games. So yeah, only
Yeah,
made the
exactly.
postseason twice, and that. And I would slightly disagree that he wasn't in the MVP. He was never in the MVP conversation. 2022, he was.
No, he wasn't. You could say he was because of the stats, but his team also missed the playoffs. That's
22.
an offense.
That was
That's
the
the offense. No, he was not in the MVP conversation in 2022.
2022. That was the year they went the 12 and
To the Super Bowl. Yeah.
no,
No,
21
wait.
was the Super Bowl. He wasn't in the MVP conversation then. But the next year they went to the AFC Championship again. They lost 23-20 to Cincinnati. He was definitely in the MVP conversation then.
No, he wasn't top 3 in the MVP conversation. Top 3 is MVP conversation, man. That was Josh Allen, Mahomes, and Jalen Hurts.
In 22.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, 20. Yeah, I think 22 he was.
He
I,
plays 4th.
but he's still in the conversation though.
Top 3 is conversation. Top number 5 was Justin Jefferson. We're gonna call Justin Jefferson an MVP candidate.
But I'm saying the regular season talk throughout 2022, he was definitely in the MVP conversation.
I mean, so was Russell Wilson in 2020. Did he win MVP? No. We
But
can't.
he's
We can't talk about almost.
in this. He was never an MVP, but he was in the conversation. That's for sure.
I don't know. Somebody who's not top 3. I put top 3 conversation. After that, you're not really in the conversation.
All right, so we'll go to number 4 now. Who you got there?
Number 4, I think that's Mahomes. No, Lamar. I have Lamar. Lamar at number
Okay,
4.
Lamar Jackson, number 4.
I think he's a great QB. Obviously, great QB. I just don't think he's better than my top 3 that I have right now. And they didn't make the playoffs last season. He was injured. I think they have a good defense. They have a very good offense if used right. Their line's solid. They have Derrick Henry, who's a top 5 run back in the entire league. I just think that he gets it together. Lamar really hasn't his mobile ability has kind of gone down as he's getting older, as it should. But that's kind of like what his whole game was. He was a run first QB, not a pass first. And that's kind of like what everybody knew him as. And with that digressing, I just don't think he's as good as he was. But going into the season, I think he can be if he stays healthy. That's a weak division right now, a very weak division. I think he can go over the playoffs again. Well, hopefully again, since they didn't go last year, so that's why he's at 4 for me.
Okay, I do have him slightly higher on my list. My number 4 quarterback You may think this is crazy, but Dak Prescott, and of course this is projecting for 2026. Like I said, with Dak Prescott, I think he year two under Brian Schottenheimer. I think he'll be solid there. He's got good weapons. George Pickens, even though he's in a contract year, this will be proof for him to see if he wants to, if he'll get on top of things and get a bigger contract, whether it's with the Cowboys or elsewhere. CeeDee Lamb, you also have him as well.
Yeah, yeah.
Javonte Williams in the backfield. Yeah, I think he's put up solid numbers, and of course, it's a big if he stays on the field. See, it does have injury history as well.
He does, but he's been there. I'm kind of confused who your top three is now because you don't have the big three. You don't have the big three in there, so I'm confused who you left to the list. All right.
The big
Okay.
three is on the list.
So where's Lamar for you? You said Lamar's higher. All right. All right.
Yes.
Yeah. Wait. I'm just gonna wait. I'm just gonna wait.
Okay. So yeah, so number three, we'll move on to that. Who you got there?
I have Mahomes. Mahomes.
Yes.
I gotta have Mahomes. You know, regressed last season, coming off an injury this season. You know, I want to see how good he does. He's got a good running back now. He's barely ever had a good running back in his career. He's got a top 10 running back now. Offense is kind of regressing. Hopefully, they can stay healthy for Worthy. You know, Travis Kelsey's not even good anymore, for being honest.
Mm-hmm.
Defense just lost a lot of players. They lost two of their best corners, two like good corners. You know, so their defense is getting worse. I got him at three because he is Mahomes, so he has to be up there. You know, but
Yeah.
I think that team's not gonna be as good as it used to be. I think they're kind of on the digressing on their on their dynasty. But he's Mahomes. I think he's gonna be top three.
I agree with you. Mahomes is number three for me as well. I mean, like you said, there he is. I mean, he has his past accolades as well. I mean, Travis Kelsey. I think this is going to be his last year. Honestly, I thought he should have retired last year. Went to the sunset with Taylor Swift, but I mean, you get Kenneth Walker. That's a good pickup for them. I was on the air when that happened. I was not happy about that for the Chiefs. I mean, as a hater of the Chiefs, I'll be honest that yeah, I think Mahomes, he definitely can't discount the success that he's had. Of course, with Travis Kelsey as well. Rashee Rice, we'll see. I think he's going to miss the first 6 games, I believe.
I think it's six. Yeah, yeah.
I think he's or I think he did serve a 30-day jail sentence in Dallas for speeding on the highway, causing a crash.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's where I have Mahomes at number 3. At number 2,
I got Josh Allen.
okay.
Got Josh Allen. Great quarterback. We saw when he gets the turnovers low, best QB in the league in my opinion. It's just those turnovers. He's the most like if you QB like he's gonna play great, but how many turnovers is he gonna give you? That's the only problem with him is he makes some stupid plays. You know, he makes some like college plays here and there. But once he gets the turnovers low, which we've seen him can do, we've seen he can do that. We watched him before. He MVP for a reason. But he's also the reason they lost that playoff game.
Absolutely.
4 turnovers. You cannot have 4 turnovers in a playoff game and expect to win. And it still came down to the last drive. I think he's number 1 if he gets the turnovers down, but for now he's got to be at number 2.
He's definitely on the list, but not number 2 for me. Now that I said that, you know where he is. But number 2 for me, I have Lamar Jackson. I think this is another situation where a new offensive coordinator coming in definitely helps. Declan Doyle, he was the Bears OC last year, made the lateral move to the Baltimore Ravens, which was really an upgrade because he can now call plays in Baltimore. I mean, Declan Doyle last year, he really helped Caleb Williams with the game plan. I think he can drop a similar game plan for Lamar Jackson. If that works out, I think Lamar is back to being the Lamar we know and love, the MVP candidate every year.
Yeah, that's valid. I'm just confused. You don't have my number 1 on your entire list.
Who's your number 1?
I have Matt Stafford.
Okay.
You don't put him on top 10? You don't have Matt Stafford top 10?
I'll explain why in the honorable mentions.
Wow, okay. You know, coming off an MVP season, 46 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. That's a top tier season, you know?
Yeah.
8 touchdowns in 3 games in the playoffs. You know, 0. He had only 1 touchdown. You know, he put up. if you don't put Seattle top one, they're top two, right? Top two defense in the league, right?
Mm-hmm.
8 touchdowns, 0 turnovers against a top two defense in the entire league. The only reason he was not in that Super Bowl was because his defense let him down.
Mm-hmm.
Seattle put up 30 something points in that NFC Championship game to make it to the Super Bowl. They Matt Stafford still put up 27, just wasn't enough. But I feel like 27 should get you there if your defense wants to play good at all, wants to play well at all. But against the
Yeah.
top two defense, he put up those many stats, and now their defense just got better. Now they have a top four defense, top five defense in the league. Their only bad part was corners. They picked up two. Myles Garrett, Aaron Donald. We might be seeing Aaron Donald come back.
I don't think so. I don't think
He's
so.
practicing with them. Even if he doesn't, Myles Garrett and two top cornerbacks. That deep that defense is gonna be insane with Matt Stafford, with Puka still good, and they still have Devontae Adams. I he's got to be number one. He's got to be number one. He put up the stats last year. I think he can do it again.
I mean, yeah, I'll definitely explain why in the honorable mention section when we get to that section. But number one is going to be Josh Allen for me, and they're opening up a new stadium which doesn't look that good from what I've seen. I think that's just all negative press. But to Josh Allen at hand, I think he's definitely solid when he's healthy as well. And like you said about the turnovers, he's cut down on them from previous seasons. But I think when he gets going, he's definitely one of the best quarterbacks in the league, both through the air and on the ground. And when he needs to rush, he can definitely do that. I think that's why I have Josh Allen at number one.
Okay. It's a valid. I'm number two. It's a valid standpoint.
So, who are some honorable mentions that you have on your list?
Honorable mentions. To be honest with you, I got Kyler Murray. Honorable mention.
Okay.
Because you're gonna think of this, right? You're gonna think of this. Sam Darnold was nothing before he went to the Vikings, right?
Mm-hmm.
He went out of the league. They said he was a horrible QB. Horrible. Brought him to the playoffs. Won 14 games. Brought him to the playoffs, right? Then he left. Went to Seattle because they wanted to start 9. They wanted to start 9.
Mm-hmm.
9 got them 9 wins.
Yeah.
They sucked. One of the worst QBs in the league. Everybody knew it. They sucked. Going from one QB to another, that just showed they lost 5 more games, didn't make the playoffs. And what did Sam Darnold do? Brought him to the Super Bowl, right? Brought Seattle to the Super Bowl. I think Kyler Murray could fill that spot for them. Not bring him to the Super Bowl, but I think he can get into the playoffs. He's a good QB when he plays. When healthy, he's a good QB. And he's got Justin Jefferson. What can't you do with Justin Jefferson? And Jordan Hudson. Good tight end. No, I can say that's a solid team. Their defense looked solid last year. They had a very good defense last year as well.
Mm-hmm.
I think Kyler Murray could help propel that team if he plays to the level that he used to.
And we'll see. That's definitely a big if he can propel them to how he used to. But I'll address the elephant in the room here, Matthew Stafford. The reason why he missed my top 10 list, and because this list is an outlook of 2026, so you can erase the stats in the past and what he's done before. This is about projection for this season. Now, I think only 2 quarterbacks have played. Actually, only one has made the Super Bowl at age 39 or more. Actually, no, 2. Peyton Manning, and Tom Brady. Those are the only 2. So I did put age into consideration. Matt Stafford's going to be 39 this year, and who knows if he's going to have a drop off. I mean, with Peyton Manning in his final season, they won the Super Bowl, but he wasn't the reason. He got benched in the middle of the season because of an injury, I think. Then he started as a backup in his final game. So I'm not going to say that's what is going to happen to Matthew Stafford this year, but I don't think he's going to be a top 10 quarterback next season.
Okay, I mean, I guess I can see where you're going, but you still got to think, like, he doesn't have to put as much on the field, like, he doesn't have to, I need to do this or we will lose. They have a very good defense,
Yeah.
So he's allowed to play. He's allowed to, be calm back there. He doesn't have to be like, oh, if I don't do this, like he did the Lions, he can play calm. This year we played calm. 46 touchdowns, interceptions. And before those last few games, he didn't even have those. He had like 3 interceptions. I just think that if he even plays slightly worse, let's take away 16 touchdowns, which is a lot. Let's take away 16, 30 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. That's still a top 10. That's still a top ten QB right there.
But I also
I
have to put it. Oh, wait, go ahead.
I said with Puka too, a top 4 receiver, if not top 3 in the league, with Devontae Adams in top 3, number 2. That good offensive line. That team's just built to succeed right now. They're a win now team, and that's
Yeah.
that's what that's where they're a win now team, and this is Stafford's year. Last year was his year too, but this is his last year. If they don't succeed this year, I think it's over for the Rams.
But the thing about. I'll first address Devontae Adams. He's 33 years old now. How much more productive could he possibly be at this point of his career?
He was the best red zone target in the league last year. They don't need him to the red zone. He had 14 touchdowns, all in the
Yeah,
red zone. He's the best red zone target in the entire league.
but yeah, definitely he was the receiving leader in touchdowns last year, but in terms of as a full picture of Devontae Adams, I don't think he's a superstar anymore. I think he's. I don't know how much he's going to fall off in terms of being a deep threat, but if he can be a good red zone target, that's all he needs.
That's all he was last year. He was a red zone target because they don't need a deep target because they have Puka Nakua.
And then Puka Nakua is another one I want to address. I mean, with Puka Nakua, he's definitely has the talent. Don't get me wrong there, but his off the field stuff concerns me on what he's doing.
I
If he
mean, yeah.
if he can separate all that stuff that he's gone through, then yeah, we can definitely see that. But he's turned down a dangerous path, in my opinion.
For sure, I can see what you're saying, but like Antonio Brown was kind of like that, like for a lot of his career.
And
Like it
look at
wasn't just
him.
but it wasn't just the end of his career. What people would think he was like that in Pittsburgh as well. Everybody even knew he was like that for his last few seasons in Pittsburgh. He was like that too, and he was still a top receiver in the league. Put up his last 2 seasons in Pittsburgh. He put up 1,500 yards and 1,200 yards. It's some players can, some players won't. And that's what we'll see if he's a great receiver. Will he separate the off field and the on field activity? And we're going to see that this season, I guess.
Yeah, that's definitely a good point there.
Ray
But
Lewis did it. Big Ben did it. It's some players can, some players can't.
yeah, that's definitely something we'll have to see if Puka Nakua can keep it up, focused on football, and get the help that he definitely needs before he spirals down the Antonio Brown path. I think that's something that we'll have to see. But yeah, some other guys that I had on my list or that just missed the list. Drake May as well. He just missed the list. I think going to the point of the easy schedule, and we can say that it was an easy schedule last year. It was historically easy. Oh, wait, hold on. Okay, we are back. We just popped off for a second. But we are, Drake May, the historically easy schedule last year, barely did anything in the playoffs. I think next year, despite A.J. Brown, I don't know how good A.J. Brown is going to be honest.
I think he's gonna be good. I think he's a top 10 receiver.
But yeah, we'll see. We'll see if he's on the field.
I mean, he'll be on the field. It was literally. I'm not a fan of Hurts. That's why Hurts didn't make my list, and Hurts obviously didn't make your list either.
Yeah, he's
I think.
he's around 15 for me.
Yeah, exactly. And AJ Brown had one off season. We saw what he did with the Titans. We saw what he can. We saw what he can do with the Eagles.
Mm-hmm.
He just needs a good environment, and I don't think Hurts was like that. I watched some of those games. You can say like AJ Brown was covered, but on some of those throws, I've seen Hurts throw the ball. It sucked. It sucked. He needs a good QB who can place it there. And maybe if May and his chemistry are down, it's a good duo right there.
Oh yeah, I definitely agree with you there. But yeah, anyways, that's gonna do it for today's episode. If you liked our list, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. We'll definitely have Cain on more for more debates in the future. But anyways, thank you for watching. Have a great rest of your day, and we'll see you again next time.